morning, good day, good evening, good afternoon. All right, I'm gonna continue drawing in Scott's Adventures in Drawing book, but I just need to post a few things first. So bear with me as usual. Bearing with me. Almost there. Okay, and I think that's it. Yes. Okay. Whew. Done. Okay. So we're gonna pick this up where I left off, but first, of course, I gotta plug some stuff because you're here, I'm here, and how else do you live as an independent artist? You gotta plug your stuff. I've plugged this before, but these are recent additions to the gricklemart.com site. And these are puzzle agent patches. This is patch, embroidered patch. This is a sticker. Your tax dollars at work. A little inside joke if you've ever played Puzzle Agent, which is a video game series I designed, created with a lot of other amazing people. Hello, swarm of dead insects. Gosh, 12 years ago now? 12 years ago? No, further than that. 16 years ago, my lord. Anyway, yeah, every now and again I'm going to plan to do some Puzzle Agent-y merchandise for sale at my shop, but this is the most recent Puzzle Agent stuff. I'm very proud of the way this sticker and patch turned out. Anyway, there you go. That's it for plug-in merch. Now we can get into drawing. I'm glad you're here, Wyatt H. Not. Yeah, I know I'm kind of consistent. I realize I'm pretty much streaming this generally on Sunday mornings for me. Aroundish this time, but I have yet to commit to an actual scheduled thing because life keeps getting in the way, so I'm never sure. So, but it is sort of, a pattern has emerged. So this is generally the time I will be streaming and drawing. So it's a good idea to hang around this time if you're interested in watching me. Okay, oh my gosh, here we go. I think I left off, yes I did, look at this, this is the page, yeah. Okay, I left off on this page where I didn't actually finish the whole exercise, so we're going to finish this up quick here before moving on. And this was a town setting where Scott asks you to fill in some specific things, of which I have done a decent amount. It asks for a bird, there's a bird. Person with a cake, there's a person with a cake. A worm, there's a worm, tiny worm. A dog, there's a dog running with Scott the bunny. A plane, yep, there's a plane up there. A cloud, there's all kinds of clouds. A blimp, there's a blimp. A car, I did sort of cheat on that one. There's a half piece of a car leaving or entering, who knows, I think it's entering. A flower, there's a flower right there. A bug, there's a bug looking at the flower. Store sign, signs, oh, okay. I guess that's where I stopped. Store signs. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do a little self-plug in here. We're going to say that this little shop right here is the Grickle Mart. How's that for some self-promotion? I'm glad you're here, Wyatt. Gosh, I don't like the idea that I made you get up at 5:30. I hope that was just circumstantially what happened there. That fit nicely into the sign. Look at that, Grickle mark. Well, look at that. Wow, Swarm-Eated Insects has rewarded you for your early rising. Look at that, eh? See? Early bird gets the worm. Nice. That's the Grickle Mart. I suppose I could squeeze in one more sign over here. Rugs. Let's see, we got rugs over here. Oh my gosh, what could this other sign be? Well, let's just say it's noodles. I don't know. Maybe it's a restaurant. Or maybe it sells pool noodles. I don't know. First word that came to mind. Noodles. Okay, there's noodles. I think that's pretty good for signage. Okay, so now that says a mailbox. A mailbox. Where am I going to put a mailbox, Scott? Oh my god. It's hard because, frankly, I don't want to draw like over top of the lines that Scott has on the page too much because it'll get confusing to see. So I'm putting a mailbox right here. It's been interesting coming back to Canada. Living in America for quite some time as I did. The mailboxes in America are all blue, but since returning to Canada, I'd forgotten that all the mailboxes in Canada are all red. Whatever, not a big deal, but just a funny little difference. I'm going to make this a Canadian mailbox because that's what I'm used to again. So it's red. I'm going to color it red. Add a little color there. A red Canadian mailbox. Good meowing sub to radio. All right, there's a mailbox. Oh wow, a burglar? A burglar. Man, Scott, this is some random stuff. Okay, burglar. Where do I put a burglar? I'm going to put a burglar inside the Grickle Mart? No, maybe that's bad. Then maybe I'm jinxing myself. Maybe I'll put a burglar above the noodle shop. And I don't know, it's funny when I think of the word burglar, I can't help but think of the McDonald's Hamburglar. Who I'm not exactly going to draw. And the iteration of the Hamburglar that I remember was the sort of spooky one from the late 70s. And this isn't him, but it's something I think about when I think about burglars. Can anyone even see that? I don't know, he's really tiny. Here, I'll zoom in on him for a second here. There he is, he's hiding in the window. Oh, Swarm-Eated Insects, I think you're probably on the money on that one. A lot of things in Canada seem to be vestiges of the British colonialism, for sure. That makes total sense. I know, it's funny that, why would a burglar wear a striped shirt, build a cat? It doesn't make any sense, right? Are they just already anticipating going to prison? I'm not sure. Don't know why that became a thing, but it did. Burglar, a manhole with an alligator peeking out. Well, we've already covered that. I guess I jumped ahead on that one. Okay, that one's done. A bear. Ooh, a bear. Where do I put the bear? It's hard. I want to draw something right in the middle here, but it's right on the spread of the page, and that's really tricky. I'm going to draw a bear over by the sign here. think he just wandered into town by accident. He's not really sure where to go. Ugh, it's hard drawing on the spread, near the spread here, Scott. I don't know about this placement. Not your fault, sir, but you know, my choice, I guess, for drawing so close to it. But it does make it awkward. Look at that, I'm over the page. Okay, there you go. Getting in out of that one with the bear. Maybe I'll color the bear just to give him something. Oof, not my best coloring job. Again, hard to color right on the spine here. There you go, there's a bear. Yeah, you know, Build a Cat, if I ever venture into that part of the market of making my own draw-along sketchbook, I would consider a spiral. I would. I don't exactly love spiral bound things in general, but practicality of a flat page, I might. Although I do love the way this book looks. I'd be torn between practicality and aesthetics, as always. Okay, a bear. Someone's singing. Someone's singing. Okay. I'm going to put someone singing right here. Funny, to make someone look like they're singing, just adding that little bit of the tongue up, I find goes a long ways. As opposed to them yelling or yawning or anything else. It weirdly, for me, kind of indicates they're singing. Scale sizes are all sort of weirdly off here, but whatever. He is singing his heart out here. Yes, better that I be torn and not the book. Very good. Okay, very good. You're cooking with Crisco today, buddy. All right, there's the singing. Now someone playing a horn. Someone playing a horn. Okay, I'm going to add that person over here. Who weirdly is right in front of the car? I don't know. Do 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 do. Not quite in front of the car. Okay, let's put a shadow on there. If I never had a shadow, that would help. Okay, maybe I'll just highlight the color of his horn here. Bugle horn. Yes. Okay, and then the final suggestion from Scott C. Townspeople in the windows. Okay. This guy is going to be very, very tall. And seemingly quite pleased with the way his day is going. He's got a little mug of tea. And he is just watching this crazy town out the window. Yes, his scale is way off. That's okay. I don't really have a lot of ladies. Let's add a little lady here. There we go. Add somebody over here. Sorry, I'm going to move the camera around, try to capture what I'm drawing because it's very small. I'm drawing very small here. This guy in a hat. Maybe I have to do a pug over there. Find these window frames in sort of awkward spots, Scott. Guy in the doorway. Maybe he's got a broom. He's got a broom. Okay. I think we are complete here. I'm good enough to move on. I'm ready to move on, guys. Folks, everyone. Here we go, moving on to the next page. Let's see what happens. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh wow, this is a page that my son James apparently liked because he has done all of it? Almost all of it. Okay. Some cool ideas here. Look at all these local townspeople strolling around with glorious hats on their heads. Let's help them out. Draw some crazy, grand, magnificent hats on their heads so that we can enjoy them all together. We can all enjoy them together. What I can see here is James drew a brain. It says big brain on this lady's head. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, he's got I'm stupid lol square on that fella. This guy sort of has a weird crown. Maybe it's flames. Oh, I like what he did with the kid here. He put on like a dinosaur head. Top hat on this fella. Okay, and then the next page is shoes. He's done a few shoes, but and some bodies, some fabulous dresses. Well, I don't know that James followed the whole prompt of dresses. He kind of drew like a big apple shape there and a weird spindly body there. But whatever, that's cool. Alright, so I gotta draw some crazy shoes. I mean, this guy just looks like he's wearing running shoes, so I'm gonna go with the obvious. Suggestion here. And this fella, I'm going to give him big boots. I'm going to just give it a little shade too. So they look like rubber boots for wellies, as they say in England. Short for Wellington, I believe, right? Wellingtons? I don't know. Okay, well that was a quick page because James had already done most of it. moving on. Hello, Taru. Welcome. Oh, wow. Okay, these townspeople are out walking their pets. What do their pets look like? I want to know if they are dangerous looking or friendly, because I will behave a certain way depending on what you draw. Oh, Scott. Really? Okay. Flower pet. This kind of makes me think of the Daffy Duck from Chuck-a-Muck, or the whatever that short was where Bugs Bunny is drawing Daffy. Didn't he draw him as like a weird flower creature? I think he did. That's what this makes me think of. I'm pretty sure that's what I am subconsciously referencing. I think that works. I'm gonna add a little color here. Body green. Really, amp up the whole plant feeling. Oh wow, Evil Critters, welcome. Long weekend break from Army Reserve training. Internet is terrible on the base, so I missed the past several weeks. I'm chilling at my friend's house in Nova Scotia, I assume. How is everyone? Doing pretty good. Glad you're here. I don't know if you were around then for the transition from the prompt book to Scott's Adventures in Drawing sketchbook, but that's where we're at. Yeah, it is a classic, right? Very famous Warner Brothers short. Okay, whoa. Sorry, getting caught up looking at the chat. I'll let everybody update Evil Critters. I'm gonna do the next one. Puffy Pet. Puffy Pet. I feel like if he's a puffy pet, he might just sort of be floating. More like a poopy pet. Look at this guy. I don't know. Weird. Evil Critters asks, how am I finding this book? It's been interesting. It's different. It is a different vibe to do drawing from this than it was to do from the prompts. And I have found, truthfully, that some of it really works great, and some of it is a little awkward for this sort of setup, I guess, if you will. I mean, the nice thing I will say, like for the prompt book, was that it's a single word or phrase, so you can very quickly just get on board and start doing stuff. With Scott's, I mean, this book was designed to sort of spark your creativity, which is great, and I think it does do that very effectively. And I'm not just saying that because Scott's a good friend. I think this book is really cool. But it then, because of that aim for the book, there's longer descriptions, there's a little bit more to dig into before I actually start drawing. And, darn it, Scott, you're forcing me sometimes to draw stuff that I'm not always comfortable drawing, I guess. But generally, it's been great. It's been interesting. A slippery pet, like stuff like this, like what the heck? A slippery pet. I think that's cool that you're forcing me to draw something and think about something like this. But it's just different. But it's cool. I'm glad I'm doing it. It's more like a wet pet. This guy's sort of just jelly gluten-y kind of thing going on here. Alright, let's get this going here. Well, swarm of dead insects, you are generous being this morning, as actually every time. So yeah, thank you for making this a pleasant experience for everyone. Ooh, I like the way that one turned out actually. Slippery pet. Now we're moving on to Idea Zone. Pets can be anything: dogs, cats, alligators, beetles, monsters, tubas, robots, dragons. So many options. Okay, so this is more of a free-for-all on this page. I don't know. I'm just gonna draw whatever happens out of this pen. I suppose that's a dog of some sort. Pretty weird one. I'm just gonna get pretty Dr. Seussy, I think, here, and just weird. I don't know. This almost feels like the weird sandworm things in Beetlejuice. In fact, I'm gonna go with that. I like that you added in 2 dead moose at the end there, Wyatt. I think moose is the correct term, not the mises. So, right? It was striped, right? Beetlejuice? Because Beetlejuice, you know, with his suit. Something so iconic about that, eh? Tim Burton. Mr. Designer. So good. Okay. I got one more to draw. Alright, maybe we will try for a pug. Because, you know, that's just expected. I just like drawing them. I feel like they keep evolving as I draw them. This is a pretty big pug. Could almost be good morning, rat scratches. how do I get the... Well, let's just make him... He's sort of rearing up. There's a weird looking pug. Well, every pug is kind of weird looking, I guess. If you really want to get down to it. Let's color this fella in. I remember the Neverhood game? I do not recall the soundtrack. Interesting conversation happening there on the chat. Gotta do this to really bring up the pug vibe. That's a strange little pug. Oh yeah, Neverhood was very, very interesting, very groundbreaking, very unique. Cool game when it came out, for sure. Moving on. Let's see what the next page is. Wow, it's a whole big garden. I love this spot. It's the Enchanted Garden. What particular things grow in this delightful place? Plants, flowers, berries, tulips. Let's fill it up with things. Okay, Scott's leaving it a little more blue sky here now. What delectable plants. Woo! Plants. Okay. Hello, Haven of Oddities. Glad you're here. Glad you're here to watch me draw plants. I don't have to draw plants, but I'll start with the prompt. Kind of have like one or two ways of drawing plants, and I pretty much stick to them because I just haven't done enough work to figure out other ways to draw plants. What is this even? I don't know. Oh, that's boring. Boring. Okay. Moving on. Let's do a little bush. I'm gonna put a face on that bush though. Sort of anxious face. Try for a different kind of flower here. Yeah, it is an interesting concept, is it not? Scott's drawings are wonderful, and my drawings are, you know, there's a certain commonality to or overlap between our styles, but it's interesting. It's interesting to have them mashed together. I think I mentioned last time, but a bunch of years ago, Scott and I got the opportunity to draw a comic together. We did I think it was like 16-page comic story, kind of the Herman Melville thing. What's the why am I blanking? The Big Whale, you know? The Big Whale, whatever that. Moby Dick, sorry. It was like a Moby Dickish kind of story. Dickish? That's funny to say that. Anyway, he and I combined, we drew over each other's drawings, basically panel by panel. It was a really bizarre, crazy exercise, but it was a lot of fun. And you know, our styles definitely meshed decently enough together. Um, and I cannot remember what the title of that book was. It was a collection of stories. Oh, it was a project, I think specifically for Bay Area artists or West Coast artists, and that was when I was still in the West Coast. Bridge to Bridge, I think it was Portland and San Francisco artists combining. I can't remember. Interesting. Bridge Project, I think that's the name of the book. For anyone that's interested. I don't know how easy it would be to find it. Draw a little groundhog guy just popping up here. Let's see now. What else? What else could I draw? Boy, oh boy, plants. I mean, there is such a variety of shapes, and yet, again, my library of internal knowledge is quite limited. It would benefit from knowing more. See, this is pushing me creatively. I've really got to think about this. I really only have a handful of shapes I default to. Let's do a little berry bush here. Yeah, berries. Look, see, I'm doing the same stupid leaves every time. Can't help myself, my hand's just doing it. It's the only way I know how to draw anything plant-like. Stuck watching me do this. Plants can be exciting though, right? We certainly need them on this planet, despite what some oil executives might say. Oh, pumpkins, that's a good suggestion. Yeah, please give me suggestions, because I am clearly struggling here. Colored berries. Berry bush, yeah. Ooh, tentacles. Yes, yes, I'm liking all these suggestions. Let's go with the pumpkin one right first, because that just stuck in my head, and that was one of the first suggestions. Oh yeah, sunflower, that's great. Nice, that's a good that zombie. I'm always up for drawing zombies. The undead. Sorry, spend some time on the pumpkins here. These are all great suggestions, so you've given me hope that I can fill out this page. No problem. Pumpkins going. lovely. That looks lovely. Okay, let's move on. Tentacles. I really like this idea of tentacles coming out. Excuse me. Okay, yeah. Tentacles are fun. Plants vs. Zombies. Oh yeah, that's the game, right? That was the game from long ago. Still around probably. I just don't pay enough attention. These tentacles purple. It's an octopus garden apparently. Knock knock. Sunflower, Christmas tree, spider plant that is a spider. Oh my gosh, there's so many suggestions here. Well, if I'm gonna do a sunflower, I need some space. Okay, let's put the sunflower right here. Yep. Okay. Sunflower. Some color. Kind of getting into coloring these things now. Go back over here. Draw a zombie. Kind of finding himself waking up in a garden. Not sure how he got there. But there he is. Okay. Ooh, let's see. Where can I squeeze in more? This is getting a little bit full. Yes, it's a fancy zombie. Boy, there's so many good suggestions here now. Now I feel like I have almost too many ideas. This is great. I like that feeling. Okay, maybe we'll do like a Venus flytrap. Carnivorous. I know herb. What did you suggest? Herbivorous. Herbivores. Carnivorous. Oh, maybe. Just a little shop of horrors kind of look here. Seymour? Is that the name of the plant? I think so. Color is sort of reddish, right? Green. Yeah, he is kind of cute, isn't he? He looks happy. It's true. Cute is how it lures you in. Absolutely. I'm just going to color some of these plants up a bit. Give the zombie guy a little bit of color too. Green's always a good color for the zombie crowd. Cool, I like that, Okay, sort of filling out this space. I feel like I got a little bit more room over here. Somebody suggested a beetle. I'll draw some kind of weird insect here. Who's very big and beetle-like. Beetle. That feels pretty good. I think that's a pretty filled out space. I just feel like if I draw much more, it's going to get too crowded. Alright, I'm going to move on. We're almost coming up on the hour here, so we'll see what how much time we have left to do. A few more things. Actually, I'm going to quickly color. It's just bugging me that I colored some of these bushes and not some of the other ones. I feel obligated to round that out a little. Color my blueberry bush here. Color this guy and this guy. And there, I think I've hit everything I drew with some color. Throw a little orange on moving on. Let's see what the next page holds for us. Oh my goodness, what is this? It's the town market. Everyone has set up little seller stands trying to sell us their favorite things. Why don't you draw stuff for them to sell so they can attract some solid business? Business. Oh my god. Well, okay. Down here he says, idea zone. Each seller has distinct interests. There could be ninja stuff, pirate stuff, stuff cats might like, or hats for the gentlemen and gentle ladies. Alright, Scott. Alright, well the first guy here seems to be a hat guy. So we're gonna draw a bunch of hats. Draw his little partner who is helping him sell said hats. And he will be wearing suspenders for no apparent reason. Other than I felt like drawing suspenders. Stack of hats here. Of course, yes, they gathered it from the garden. Yeah, I'm already feeling like there's no way I'm going to finish this prompt on this page today. But we will begin. You know, just take our time. No big rush. A lot of stovepipe hats here. Okay. A lot of hats in here, though, for sure. Add a little color to this guy. I like that. I like the callbacks. I like the continuity. Wherever you can find ways to sneak that in, it's always good. Always smart. Just makes for a more rounded, pleasant experience, does it not? Alright. Oh yeah, beetle callback with the mummy. These are all good. Smart. Yes, the dog, I definitely was thinking bones and sticks. That's pretty great. Oh, and tennis balls. We're gonna do the dog next. And first thing we're gonna do with the dog is his dog buddy. Everybody's gonna have a little buddy here who's proudly helping showcase the things they're selling. This is a weird Your dog body. Yes, actually, Evil Critters, you would have missed the intro to this book. That bearded bunny is supposedly representing my friend Scott C., who designed and created this book. It's Scott as a bunny. There you go. So you'll see him throughout the book, this bearded bunny. All kinds of bones. He's also got a tennis ball? Tennis ball. And of course, sticks. This is just a mess. Dogs aren't organized, so this tent is just piled high with dog stuff. Sticks, bones, and tennis balls. Scott C versus Grickle. I'll have to suggest that to him. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he would draw for that. I don't know if he's ever drawn. Now you're making me think that. I don't know that he's ever done a puzzle agent one, because Scott generally sticks to movies, I believe, but maybe he's done video games. Well, he has done video games, because he's certainly drawn Brutal Legend, I believe. No surprise, given that it's based on his designs. Kind of had a large part in doing that game. But yeah, Puzzle Agent Showdown. That's interesting. I might just throw that one out to him. I don't know if he's ever done a Box Trolls one either. Might have. I think he's done some Lego ones. Boy, this tent is piled high. With crap. Now, to make a tennis ball read like a tennis ball, you have to... Oh, sorry, I just saw Evil Critters a question asking if does Scott know that I'm using his prompt book. Yes, I actually checked in with Scott before I went on this journey to make sure it was going to be fine. I did not want to do this if it was something he was not thrilled about, and he was thrilled about it. So Scott gave me his approval, permission, blessings to go ahead and do this journey. So yes, I have checked in with Scott about it. Pretty good. I like this little dog tent. Okay, you know what? Let's see. We have hit an hour. I think I'm going to stop right there and let my brain percolate for the rest of this week on the other sales tents, market tents that I can work on. Evil Critters asks if this book is available at Chapters. I am not entirely sure the extent of availability of this particular book. This was, I think, a fairly small print run that Scott did a bunch of years ago. Scott has many books available at Chapters, children's books, and most recently, to pump some of Scott's stuff, Cabin Head and Tree Head, or Tree Head and Cabin Head. is a graphic novel series for younger readers, but for all ages really. It's a beautiful book. I think he's working on the third one right now, but I think the first two are already out. The second one may have just come out, and they're amazing. Scott's amazing. So yeah, you can find those books because they're published by Tundra. They're all over the place. Okay. I think this has been a fun run. I am so happy everybody was here today. And I will plan to be back at this again next week. So thanks everybody. Hope you have a wonderful week. And I'll see you again soon.